Hello, everyone, and welcome to Restaurant Royalty Catering with the Queen. I am so happy that you decided to join us today. If it is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad to see you. If you are returning, welcome back. I'm glad you decided to join us again. All right, so let's get into it. Today, on our agenda, we're going to do an intro for those who do not know me and have not been here before. We'll do a recap of our June session, and then we'll talk about upcoming catering occasions. We'll talk about football season a little bit, and then we'll dive into some packaging because lately I've gotten a lot of packaging questions around fully branded packaging and how you could transition from maybe a lower cost packaging item to something that is fully branded. So we'll talk about that a little bit near the end. All right, so intro. So for those that do not know, my name is Jen Saunders Haynes. I am the founder and chief catering strategist at Elizabeth Jewell Consulting. So who is Elizabeth Jewell? Well, clearly that is not me. Elizabeth Jewell is named after my mother and my grandmother, both of their middle names. I grew up learning how to cook, and my mom and my grandma taught me how. So my love of food started at a very, very early age, and I am fortunate to be in the position that I am in and be able to cater food to the masses and help restaurants do that. It's something that is very near and dear to my heart. And so when naming Elizabeth Jewell, I wanted to pay homage to my mom and my grandma. So Elizabeth Jewell is a family name. It's part of my family. And Elizabeth Jewell Consulting was birthed from them. And what do? We are a full service catering consultancy. And again, we specialize in custom program development and ongoing management. So I've said on a panel before, that's a fancy way of saying that I partner with brands and make them catering money. So everything from program evaluation down to fractional leadership is what we can offer you. We'll talk about how to contact me there at the end, but if you're on the screen right now, there is a QR code that you can scan that'll take you directly to my LinkedIn page, and we'll talk about how to reach me at the end too. So hold tight for that. So our experience, spent 4.5 years at Subway. Before that, 4.5 years at GoTo Foods, specifically on the Schlotzsky's brand. I've been on many panels, and this webinar and all the other ones have been hosted by CaterLinked, so I partner with them. If you have not joined the CaterLinked community, please do so. You can find me and a ton of my other peers on that page, willing to share advice and tips and tricks. So be sure to join the CaterLinked community. All right, a recap of June. We talked about catering occasions. We talked about segmented marketing, and that is marketing specifically for catering guests and how to capture them so that they drive more sales for you. We talked about creating a marketing calendar, which is super important. Your marketing calendar for catering should layer into your overall business marketing calendar, but be specific to your catering audience. Back to school readiness. If you have not started your back to school planning, that starts now. You're a little bit behind the curve on that a little bit, but that's okay. We can get you rolling. So if you need help with back to school readiness, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to assist you with creating something. And if you haven't watched the video, I'll show you how to get to that video on the next slide. We talked about sales planning and tactics for growth. Again, if you have not watched that video, you can click that QR code on the screen now. Be sure to like and subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications when things are added. Again, that is hosted on the CaterLinked page on YouTube, and you can click on playlists and look for the Restaurant Royalty. You'll see my photo and my magical kingdom behind me. So please take a look at the videos. There are 2 posted on my playlist there, and then again, my peers have videos posted as well. All right, let's get into catering season. This is a slide that we shared last month. We talked about over 30 catering occasions in the second half of the year, starting in July. We are past planning for July and August, so we're into September, which is why it's circled here. I hope that everyone had an amazing Prime Day catering. Prime Day is coming back in October, so if you had an amazing catering season for Prime Day, congrats, and then I hope you do it again here in October. And for September, again, we talked about back to school last month, and this month we're going to talk about football season. All right, getting into football season, marketing for the occasion. So, your target audience for football season are going to be game day hosts, fantasy football leagues. Fantasy football is huge. I feel like it grows every year. And then alumni and super fans, especially for college football. In football season, again, preseason starts what, September, and then runs through Super Bowl Sunday. And so, you want to make sure you capture those audiences. This is a mostly B2C holiday, although there are some B2B things that come into that. There are a lot of companies that do big game parties and tailgate parties, football kickoff parties, things like that. So there's some B2B in here as well, but these are mostly B2C tactics. Some general messaging tips here. Skip the stress, score the snacks. You want to call out big game. Be careful not to say Super Bowl if you're not an NFL affiliate and you're not able to use Super Bowl. So careful there. You can say big game. So have big game, big flavor. Don't miss a moment. Let us feed you. The general message here is that you want to appeal to those B2C audiences. You want to make sure they understand that it is easy to cater from you, to order from you, and that you can make their party easy. They don't have to miss a moment of their action on their game. They can socialize with their friends and their guests, and you can take care of all of their food needs. And some tactics here, starting with menu, highlighting game day bundles. So complete meals that be groups of 10. So complete meals meaning you want to, if you're a sandwich brand, you want to make sure you include chips, sides, cookies, desserts, drinks, whatever that means for you. If you are a taco brand, make sure you include all of the fixins, chips, dips, everything that you have. And so you want to make it very easy, kind of a one-stop shop. So in a lot of brands, catering or guests think of catering as a need, a utility. And so if they're going to, let's say, the grocery store and they want to grab a bunch of things for their catering spread, a one-stop shop for a catering restaurant could mean that everything that they would get from a grocery store, they can get directly from your brand. So they don't have to go to the store to get chips, dips, and drinks. They can order it all from you if that is what you're offering, especially for tacos or something like that. Easy upsells. If you don't have a bundle, make sure that the upsells for those side items are easy. There are a lot of platforms that offer upsells easily if you're using a first-party catering platform. If that is Monkey Media or if that is Olo Catering Plus, just make sure that you have an easy upsell option. So if you don't have the ability to bundle, or if you don't have that functionality that flows to the POS, be sure that you have an easy upsell and you can work with those partners to figure out how that looks. If you need help working with those partners, be sure you reach out to me so that I can guide you along the way. Your fan favorites. You can do something really cool with this. Your fan favorites can be local to your teams. If you are in a big college football town or city and you have a kind of a cult following for that team, you can create something that is in the team colors and call it the blue and gold special or the orange and green special, whatever it is. You can play up kind of that fan favorite and call it a highlight. And so you can put that at the top of your menu and make it pop, make it something special. For marketing, you want to stick to those email campaigns. Again, you can use the general messaging that we called out earlier. An overall seasonal message at the beginning of season, like your football season playbook is here to resonate. That's something that means that, hey, we're here for the season. We can take care of you all season. You don't have to look any further. If you want to order from us every Sunday or Saturday or Monday night or Thursday night, all the days that football comes on, you're there to provide that catering for them. And then an SMS reminder. How often do we check our text messages before we check our email? So text messaging is going to be an unlock for you. You can send those 28 to 48 hours for a game day, keeping in mind whatever your lead time is for catering orders. If your restaurant is 24 hours, they make sure you're sending the message in a time where they can actually place the catering order. So if you have a 24-hour lead time, you want to send it, maybe 48 or 72 hours in advance, so that they can be thinking about placing their order and still have time to actually place it. And then countdown ads. You can do this through either one, SMS or email. You can also also do a banner on your website or a landing page with a countdown to game day message. And so a countdown to ordering day, think about that as. So that's something that's really fun that and a little bit interactive that you can do. You can do a countdown timer on your landing pages. And then moving over to POP and packaging. And we'll get into packaging again on the next slide, but POP and packaging, you want to do tailgate displays, promoting the bundles that are on your menu that we talked about a little bit ago. Bag stuffers and bounce backs. So reordering flyers in every bag. So bag stuffers are something that it's an element that is inexpensive. You can print it. You can capture those large orders that are coming in. Remember, I said on a previous webinar that we call catering in the industry catering because we understand what that means. For the guests, they may not identify feeding a large group of people in their home, especially when it's a more casual setting, a catering experience. So whatever that experience is for them, be it catering, large group, party, event, whatever they call it, you want to make sure they understand that you can accommodate a large order, and a bag stuffer can help you drive that message home. And then QR codes. QR codes are easy. I have them in this presentation. You saw them on the previous slides, both for my LinkedIn page and for getting to the YouTube channel for our playlists. They're easy. You can put them on your packaging, your napkins. Super easy to do. You can put them on your menus. People can come into your restaurant, scan the code, easily get to whatever document, PDF menu, website, whatever it is. You can make it point to wherever you need. So QR codes make it super easy for guests to get to you in a way that, they have their phone in their hand all the time. So QR codes are super important. All right, moving right along to packaging. All right, so packaging is a marketing element, and this slide is from a previous presentation as well. So a question here, if an order from your restaurant was delivered, would guests know it came from you? And if that answer is no, there are things that you can do to help tell your brand story. This packaging is fully branded. Again, I'm fond of the packaging in the middle because it is my brainchild. But both the ones on the left and right are beautiful as well. They tell your brand story. They can be standalone marketing messaging. Depending on the materials that you use, it can drive an eco-friendly message. So these are options that you have if you want to go the fully branded route. Understanding that supply chain is difficult at times, understanding that pricing on this packaging, especially for smaller brands, may not be something that you can do at this moment. There are options. So we're going to talk about some maybe low cost and mid cost options so that you can get to this packaging eventually once your catering sales start to take off. So as we talk about low and mid cost branding options to support you while you work toward that fully branded packaging. So low cost branding options would be things like branded stickers, stamps, and branded tape. So I have some use, benefits, and tips for each one. So as you take some time with this presentation, you can pause it, take a picture of this screen. If you're watching now, you can take a quick picture of it so you can refer back to it later. But you can use the branded stickers to seal your boxes, seal your bags. They're pretty affordable and easy to update. You can order them in multiple sizes so you can use them in different ways. So you can also change the shapes of them so that they stand out a little bit more and fit on the packaging that you have. A sticker is an easy way to jazz up, plain packaging and make it more branded for you. Stamps are fun. Stamps are really good for brands that are kind of like this farm to table, handcrafted, smaller brands that have more of a rustic kind of feel. Stamps can be really fun in those kinds of brands. You want to make sure that you order a stamp that the ink that is food safe. So make sure you do your research on that. Talk to your teams. You don't want to be putting ink on something that is close to food. So consider food safety there. And then they can be put on boxes, bags, napkins, again, anything that is paper. And it gives it a little bit more of that kind of farm to table, rustic kind of feel. And then branded tape, again, you can use these like stickers. They're multifunctional. You can even do like holiday tape. So you can tape up a box if you don't want to do a sticker. You can do a sticker with your brand logo, and then nice holiday tape to make it look like a pretty present if you're leaving it on a table. So, those are really great for personalized orders or large orders, even for football season, if you want to do, some branded tape or something like that. I've also seen people do branded tape for, or get, if you have a recurring order, maybe you want to, do something special for that guest and do a custom sticker or custom tape that is inexpensive for you, and it adds a little bit of a touch. And moving over to mid-cost branding options, here we have custom printed sleeves, branded utensil kits, and then labeled catering bags, which might be my favorite, and we'll get to that in a minute. So custom printed sleeves, these are, think about this like, and I compare it to like when you get a wedding invitation and it has this band around it and you slide the band off and open it up. It's the same thing for catering packaging. So it's the packaging and you would slide the band over the box, and the band would be customized with your logo or name or colors or whatever that is. And they look really nice on plain craft boxes. So there's the benefit there is that you still don't have to print on a box, and you can use these bands to put together one or multiple boxes to stack them together. So that's an option for you for a mid-cost solution. And then the branded utensil kits, you can see if you can print like if you're serving forks and knives, you can do your name or logo on the packaging that cutlery comes in. So you can have some branding on the table, and then people are picking them up and taking them back with their meals if you don't have, branded packaging necessarily. So you still get some marketing messaging in there, and you can not just do your brand name, but you can also do your website or whatever else you need to put on there. And then the labeled catering bags. So you can do a stock catering bag as long as it fits whatever packaging you have. You want to make sure that works. And then once you have the stock bag, you can do a branded label or something that resonates with your brand that may not be fully branded. So maybe catering, the word catering or group ordering or something like that is on the bag, but it's not fully custom. And then you can do a lower run with that. So the minimum requirements are maybe a little bit lower with your printing company or your supply chain. They're really nice visually because even if the boxes inside the bags are branded, I created a bag for Subway, and that bag did have fully branded packaging in it. But when people walked into an office building or an event with these bags, you immediately knew where it was from. And because the bag stays at the event, it's a marketing element for you after the event because people reuse them if they are reusable. So that particular bag was reusable. You would see them on beaches and grocery stores, people moving. And so it was a marketing element in itself, right? And so that could be a lower cost option for you. Instead of customizing every single box, you can have a not fully customized, but a catering bag so that it travels beyond the catering event for marketing purposes. And again, you can include reorder messaging with QR codes so that it's easy to reorder and things like that. And again, going back to our marketing messaging, you can always put bounce back flyers and things like that into that catering bag. For bigger impact, if you want to do a couple things from low cost and a couple things for mid cost, and combine them all together to make something that works for your brand, I highly encourage that. And then if you want to add something personal, like a handwritten thank you note or a handwritten note at all, or something that resonates with the guests to make them feel special. We all want to feel a little special when we're ordering and spending a bunch of money for a catering event. And we want to know that you took the time as a restaurant brand to put something together that I could serve to my guests and feel confident that you considered my needs as you were preparing it. So, writing a handwritten note sometimes goes a long way. So those are the cost-effective packaging for low and mid cost. Again, combine them, pick the things that you like, figure out what works for your brand, what works for the brand story you want to tell, and then you can move from there. That is it for today. It was short and sweet. I would love to work with you on football season, on what is what back to school season could look like. And if you are not getting ready for holiday season, now is the time for that. So football season, and then we go immediately into holiday, because I feel like the Thanksgiving season gets shorter and shorter. So I feel like Christmas and holiday is bleeding into that. So if you're not ready for holiday season, please give me a call so that we can partner on it. And let's connect. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also connect with me, follow me on Instagram at The Catering Queen. Email me directly at jen@ejewelconsulting.com. Again, you can find me on the Caterlinks community. Refer back to the QR code on the previous slides, and you can review all the playlists. I encourage you to listen to the webinars from from May and June. I think that you will find them helpful. It's been a pleasure to see you all this afternoon. I hope that you'll join the community and chat with my peers. And I hope to hear from you soon via email or LinkedIn. All right, take care. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.